This is only the third time.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of DV Live City Talk. Today I'm welcomed by Tim Smith. Joined by Tim Smith, the Executive Director of the Ridgecrest Chamber of Commerce. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
A year later.
It's been a year.
A whole year. So before we dive into today's episode, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done that. I mean, that's a thing on YouTube that I just learned about. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below. And today we'll be talking about the Economic Outlook Conference, the EOC.
The EOC.
The other day I was talking about it and I think I said the OC and they're like, that's a TV show. And I was like, close enough. So, but before we jump in, can you tell viewers who might not know you, who you are, what you do at the chamber, and what your favorite food is?
Sure. So my name is Tim Smith. I'm the Executive Director at the Chamber of Commerce, which means I really support all the mission and the work that the Chamber does and what the board wants to accomplish and supporting our members.
Okay.
Favorite food is probably a tie between pizza and burritos. Yeah, I need kind of both throughout the week.
I like that. I mean, pizza and tacos for me. So
yeah,
similar.
Yeah, there's a place down in where my mom lives called the Broken Yoke, and they have breakfast tacos. And I had never had breakfast tacos, but before I ate there, they were really good. I'd eat those again.
Is that down in like San Diego area?
Yeah.
And like you have to get there early in the morning because the line starts wrapping around?
Well, we've only gone since like during COVID. So, it wasn't very crowded when we were there.
And the real question,
But yes.
Pineapple, yes or no on pizza?
I don't mind it sometimes. I don't really want it though.
Oh, I love pineapple and black olives.
Oh, no. I'll eat the pineapple, not the black olives.
What?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Black olives don't need to be on anything.
What?
Yeah.
They go on your fingers at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, not at all. You know what else can go? Not on mine, but other people's can go on. Put little raspberries on your finger. Way better than olives.
Oh, that reminds me of like the little, is it Devo? They're little hats.
The lampshades?
Yeah, the lampshades.
Rad.
So let's dive right on in and talk about this year's EOC.
Yeah, so this year is actually our 35th annual Economic Outlook Conference. So the Chamber has been doing it for 35 years. This year we have a good lineup again.
And this year it's in person?
Well, yeah, last year we had to do it virtually, and this year we're going to do it in person. We'll be at Kerr-McGee, and we will still be recording it. So those that are uncomfortable maybe coming in person or can't get away from their office for the day, we'll be able to view all of the content.
And they'll be able to tune in live?
That's the plan. Of course,
okay.
Last year, the internet, with the problem we had last year was really all the students were working remotely. And so they went on to school at 8:00, right when our EOC started.
Yes.
So everybody was downloading and uploading all at the same time. And so there was some hiccups last year. So hopefully we've accomplished and figured out some of those issues and corrected those for this year, but our primary purpose is in person, right? Like that's the driver is to have the in-person connecting opportunities.
To like get back in person, see everybody, network.
Yeah, definitely.
And it will be Thursday, February 24th at 8 a.m. start
Correct.
time. Okay.
So 7:00 starts a business expo and continental breakfast provided by Ptac. So that's a time just to network, find your seat, walk around the room and connect at the different booths that are there. So that's from 7 to 8. And then the conference officially starts at 8:00. And
I will chime in. If you see me at our booth, the Desert Valleys booth, come by, give me a high five, drop off a donut.
So last year we kind of structured the whole EOC into 4 segments, and that was the Ridgecrest Outlook, the Economic Outlook, the Base Outlook, and last year was the first time we did an Entrepreneur Outlook.
Okay.
And we're bringing that part back again this year and looking forward to that. So last year's for the Economic Outlook, or not the Economic, sorry, the Entrepreneur Outlook, we featured 3 new businesses that had started something in Ridgecrest during COVID. And this year we're bringing in a handful of veteran entrepreneurs. So people who have done stuff in Ridgecrest and in our on East Kern. for a number of years, and so that they can speak to like that, not veteran, like veteran in the military, but like seasoned,
like established entrepreneurs who are still going strong.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. And this year is our fourth time having our keynote speaker, who's an economist, Dr. Mark Schneep. So this is a fourth year with him. And what we've noticed is his knowledge and his ability to get the information that we need that is pertinent to our community and to our valley has just continued to grow each year. So we're really excited to have him again this year. This is his fourth year. Last year, he provided
it all come around.
Yeah. And last year he was like, hey, I'm doing all this research because you guys want so much content. What if I put all of that into a big document and provide that to you as well? So
now that was provided last year, if I do remember, online.
It's been on our website and on the EDC. So one of our sponsors is the IWV Economic Development Corporation here in town. And so they were really supportive of wanting to make sure that we have that document. So actually, this is the third year that we'll have that document.
Okay. Now, who else is speaking at the event?
Okay, so I brought my paper with everybody.
Look at you with your notes.
So like with the four segments, I could pretty much go through who they are, because we have like the first segment is Ridgecrest Outlook. And so we'll start with our presenting sponsor, which this year is Alta One.
Okay.
And so they're going to have a few words of greetings and telling us about some of the things that's going on through Alta One in Ridgecrest. Okay. So their CEO, Stephanie Sievers, is going to share. And then we'll have our local Ridgecrest mayor, Eric Bruin. He will also share. And then after that, then we'll have, we'll start with some video introductions from our elected officials. But then we'll also have the president of Ridgecrest Ridgecrest Area Association of Realtors. Okay. RAR. The president of that association, James Maurer. I was going to say a different last name. Yeah. And then the next two are from the Sierra Sands School District and Saracosa Community College. And we'll have Dave Ostash and Dr. Corey Marvin. That will round out our Ridgecrest Outlook. Okay. And then we'll have our keynote, which I already referenced, Mark Schneep. And then we'll do the base outlook. And then this year we have, again, three speakers who shared last year, Captain Jeremy Vaughn, Captain Lori Scott, and Dan Carino, who's the executive director for the Naval Air Warfare Center, NOC WD.
I think that's always great to include, because sometimes people feel, from what I gather, is they feel like the base is its own little community. Right. And no one knows what's going on.
Right. And that's one of the things that really has spurred the Economic Outlook Conference over 35 years, right? Is to help us in the community understand what's going around and what's going on in Ridgecrest as well as on base. So we've always tried to incorporate representatives from base to give us those updates, especially how important it is these last few years since the earthquake to hear that reconstruction and everything that's taking place.
They just started like really hitting the ground running with the reconstruction out there with the, I believe, OICC?
Yeah, that's the officer in charge of construction. Okay. That's Captain Lori Scott, who's going to be coming and sharing. So, yeah.
Oh, exciting. Okay. So that'll be great to hear and know that we are still kind of recouping from the earthquakes, but it's going forward.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then the entrepreneur panel.
Yeah, so that one we have Cedric Knight from NDTI. We have a guy named John Paul Lake from Kern. What is it? I'm going to make sure I say it right. Kern Venture Group and co-founder of KITE, which is Kern Initiative for Talent and Entrepreneurship.
Oh, so, that's something I've never heard of.
Yeah, he's basically based out of Bakersfield, but is really trying to help shape entrepreneurial endeavors here on the Eastern Kern.
Like on the rural aspect of it?
Yeah, on East Kern and the things that are unique to East Kern versus West Kern and the ag that's over on that side. Okay. And then we have Angela Watson from Golden State Ptac, and they really help new businesses, new entrepreneurs figure out the pathway to getting government contracts. So she'll be able to help new entrepreneurs talk through that. And then our last one is Stuart Witt, and he's done stuff with space for a number of years.
And he was a pilot too, I believe.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I could read it. It's a long bio here, but
I went to school with his son, and I think I remember because my dad was getting his pilot's license at that time, and I remember hearing Stu Witt.
Well, it says here in his bio that he's a graduate of the Naval Fighter Weapons School, Top Gun.
Stop it. He's Maverick, basically?
You can ask him next week.
Stop.
Ask him where Goose is.
Oh. No, I can't ask him that.
I don't know.
Iceman. I'll ask him where Iceman is. There we go.
I don't know. I haven't watched that movie in years, so.
What?
The new one's coming out this year, right?
I mean, it's been coming out for 3 years.
Yeah, it was filmed right before COVID, right? Or during COVID?
Right before, because I do remember that's when I was still at the theater and, Tom Cruise was sitting outside waiting for base access. So, you see all the Paramount trucks and cars and everything, and they're like, you can't come over here. And I was like, I'm just trying to walk to get my coffee. I'll see you guys when you're on the big screen.
Yeah.
I do believe it's slated to come out
I think it's
Memorial Day weekend.
I was going to say, I think I saw something this summer, so.
May, I want to say. But we'll see.
So, random tidbit. When I was in college, we had a cosmic bowling, and we were supposed to dress up, and there was a contest, and my roommate and we went as the Lone Ranger and Tonto, and I dressed up as Tonto, and we got second place to Top Gun, two guys that were totally in full navy whites, and so I thought we did pretty well.
I keep trying to convince my 5-year-old son to dress up with me as Goose and Mav. One day I'm gonna get it.
All right.
One day I'm gonna win. So how can businesses or individuals purchase tickets to attend? Or
the easiest way is to contact the chamber office. So can get you on the list. We're not giving out paper tickets this year. It'll all just be kind of check in when you get there, and we'll mark you off the list.
Will there be the EOC app for your phone again?
Yeah, so that's our digital program. That's how our program is being distributed. So as you get to the EOC, there will be a little piece of paper that will have the sessions and the speakers listed, but on there we have a QR code that you can scan, or you can just type it in to your web browser, or you can go to your app store and download the app. You don't have to download the app. You can just do it through the website on your phone too.
Now, will there be fun games again to rack up points?
Yeah. That's built into that program. So you can do that.
I remember that, and I was like, oh, this is fun.
So I will never be able to be the winner. I'm like right now, because I have to set everything up, I'm in first place and there's no one else on it. So I've done just about everything, but I'm not on social media. So I can't, like and post and share. So if you do that, you'll pass me on your game. So
there we go.
I'll try to make sure that we check the leaders so that we can maybe give a shout out to the winner at the end of the conference. I'll mention that to our committee. I don't know that there will be an award, but you can get a shout out at least.
But you can get a shout out on a crisp high five.
Yeah. Right.
That's always something.
For engagement, which in this day and age, we really need that engagement, right? We need the pieces of connecting. That's one of the pieces. Are you looking at the sponsors? Are you looking at the speakers? Have you connected and looked at other members?
And are you networking? Because I remember that, because that is something huge, over the last couple of years that, personally, my social media, I don't try to do a lot on, but for work, I do.
Yeah.
And just connecting with people through LinkedIn, that's actually my most active social media, which is weird. It's different when you interact via keyboard versus in person. And
that's been such a heartbeat of the chamber, is the in-person networking over the years. The Ridgecrest chamber started in 1946.
Okay.
So it's been around for a long time, and that in-person part is really important. But we just hosted our first in-person luncheon last week on Tuesday. So glad it wasn't today, because today was crazy windy and cold. And last week was just beautiful. But before that, we hadn't done an in-person luncheon since March 10th or 11th of 2020. So
that's
2 weeks
wild.
before the shutdown. So we had our EOC at the end of February, then we had a luncheon, and then COVID kind of shut things down. So
that's crazy, but that's nice to know that we're getting back on track.
yeah. So that's one of the things that the chamber really wanted to model. How do we do this? How do we stay safe? How do we support our businesses? But then also, how do we do good events even still? So that's why we still did the EOC last year, did it virtually, still provided amazing content. And then again, this year, moving it back in person. How do we host a premier event that's going to bring people together safely and provide good content and a good event?
Well, and it's nice that you're doing it dual. So that way people can be comfortable on their own, like either going, watching, attending, talking about it later, going back later.
Right.
So one thing, the EOC would not be happening without sponsors that you've mentioned.
Yeah.
So a huge thank you to all the sponsors for this event. I'm very excited to be back at there. How can businesses get more information to become a sponsor? Can they still be a sponsor this year or prepare for next year?
Technically, yes, you can be a sponsor this year. That's a huge benefit of doing a digital program as opposed to a hard copy, because hard copy, we would have already had to send in our
print and
our content for print. Yeah. So I can edit the content for the digital up until the day of. So technically, but I mean, you're not going to get quite as much of the value out.
The exposure.
As what we've already been doing. But you can do that just contacting us at the chamber office.
Okay.
760-375-8331. I'm sure Paul will put that across the bottom of the screen or something.
I will definitely make sure to put maybe like your website. Our website.
You can
your
link
phone
there.
call.
Yeah.
Address
just
maybe.
Contacting us there would be great. And we do have a great list. Over the last several years, been very grateful to the hospital. They've been our presenting sponsor. And this year, Alta One Federal Credit Union is our sponsor, our presenting sponsor. And then the Emerald sponsors are the hospital and COSO operating company.
Oh, okay.
And then we have
awesome.
A reception, a speaker's reception, and that's Mission Bank. And I already mentioned it earlier, the platinum sponsor is IWV Economic Development Corporation, and they're the ones who are really helping put out the digital content, or the digital, I don't want to say program, but publication that Schneep is creating for us.
But that's amazing. I mean, it's very valuable, and it's a lot, like, it can be overwhelming when you start to read it, but when you actually dive into the content and see it unfolding. Yeah.
And you can go in for specific reasons, looking at specific areas of what's taking place, from jobs to the impact of COVID to different things that he puts in there. It's really good.
I'm excited to hear what he has to say this year, especially with the growth, the, jobs that are coming into town and
the new things that are opening, right? Because he'll totally highlight those.
Exactly. I mean, you can't ignore
hotels and restaurants and
it's everywhere.
Right.
So
let me go through, because this is a perfect opportunity to say, hey, I gave you this value. I gave you a shout out to all of our sponsors.
Here we go.
Our gold sponsors include Desert Valleys Federal Credit Union, Southern California Edison, and DCS. Silver sponsors include Bernie's Landscaping, Saracosa Community College, Searles Valley Minerals, Spring Hill Suites, the Swap Sheet Webcore. Bronze sponsors are High Desert Haven, New Directions Technology, Inc., RAR, the Ridgecrest Area Association of Realtors, State Farm, Gary Charlon, Waste Management, and our patron sponsors include DART, Desert Area Resource Training, and The Table.
That's awesome. That's a great lineup.
Yeah, this is a great group of sponsors. I don't have all the list in front of me of all of our vendors who will be around the room for the Business Expo, but it's shaping up. We have quite a few that'll be there.
Will they be able to find that online soon?
That'll be on the app.
On the app? Okay.
When you get there, and you can log into the app or the digital program at any time.
And the expo will be from 7 to 8.
Correct.
And then during breakout sessions, I'm assuming.
During the breaks.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're trying, I was very adamant about including a few more breaks than we had 2 years ago at the one that I was at, because I felt like we sat there for a really long time during the first segment.
I think I remember because I was there for one of them, and at one point I was like, I got to take a break. I got to stand up.
Yeah.
But it was still great. It just went longer.
Yeah. It was like an hour and a half of sitting there. It was, I don't know.
It's like a movie.
Yeah, but
I mean, when you put it in those terms.
You're right, but people still get up and go to the bathroom.
Unless it's a Marvel movie.
Comfort breaks. I'm just learning this new term, comfort breaks. Yeah.
Comfort breaks.
Get up, walk around, use the facilities.
Okay. That's a new one.
Yeah.
Something new I learned today.
Yeah, I learned that one just like this last month. Comfort breaks.
Okay. Does that include, maybe that's from like the pandemic where we're sitting on the couch and we need our comfort break from the Zoom.
No, those are the stretchy pants.
The stretchy pants, yeah. Business from here up. There was actually a credit union that just posted on social media that they had a come to work like Zoom day. Oh, it was fantastic. Suit and tie from here up, and then like basketball shorts and furry slippers.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fantastic. I love this idea.
That's kind of fun.
So
yeah, like what is it? James Krasinski, is that his name? Jim was his name.
John Krasinski.
John, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, okay.
Jim was his name on
The Office.
Sorry, my bad. But he started a webinar at the start of the pandemic, and one time he was like sitting behind his desk and had his full suit on, and then he stood up as he left, as it ended, and he just had on like boxers. It was pretty rad, or like swimsuit shorts. It was pretty rad.
I like the fun memes where like someone, like a kid is doing their class and the mom walks by like in her robe or like hair up, and I'm like, oh, that would totally be me.
Oh man, my wife's a teacher, and she saw a lot of goofy things during that distance learning year. Yeah. It's pretty rough.
Only imagine.
Can't even imagine.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Tim. Yeah. And I'm excited to be at the Economic Outlook Conference and hear the content that's going to be presented.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me today. I think it's going to be really good next week.
Yeah.
Super excited to just get together and be in person again.
It'll be nice. I'm excited for it. So this is my like first conference post COVID, I guess. I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be good.
It's going to be like all the people. It's going to be like my dog when I come home. Alrighty, everybody. Have a wonderful night. And don't forget, if you head on over to the City of Ridgecrest YouTube, you can catch the City Council meeting this evening starting at 6 p.m. Have a good night, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. I totally thought you were going to bring up bell bottoms.